FPL Experts have 2 free transfers to use for their team this week and some big decisions to make on who the best midfielders are to own in the game right now. Help me get this one to 500 likes and subscribe. Let's get into it. This week I asked the experts for the best midfielders to own at each price point, starting off with those priced under 6 million, and there was a clear winner here, Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers. He's got the form, he's got the fixtures, and he's an absolutely bargain price. In second place it's Dwight McNeil, who's playing very advanced for Everton. And the attacking returns are starting to come together for the Toffees now as well. He narrowly beat Semenyo, who was a popular pick on wildcard last week and duly delivered with a goal. But Bournemouth's fixtures are quite tricky in the next few game weeks, with Smith Rowe in 4th place. He's got a flawless record at home, but it's another away trip this week against Manchester City. Moving up the price brackets then, this time looking at the midfielders between 6 and 9 million in the game. And in top spot with 72% of the vote, was quite conclusive here. It's Brentford's Brian Mbeumo, who has 5 goals already in 6 games this season, despite some horrible fixtures for Brentford to start the season. So now that they've come into good fixtures, I can only see him pushing on from here. In second place, we've got Trossard. This Arsenal attack, with Odegaard out of it, is continuing to excel. Trossard's been playing out of position, very central, along with Havertz, and he's been getting involved in the goal. So I expect, particularly with Southampton at home this week, he will continue to excel. Some rogue votes for Bowen, Diaz and Eze to make up this price point. But the big one was the premiums, those priced over 9 million, and it's really tight between the votes. There's not a lot to separate them. 39% of the votes go to Palmer in first place, narrowly ahead of Salah in second place with 33% of the vote, and in third place with 28% of the vote, it's Saka. Now, my thinking on this is, yes, Salah is as good as the other two, but he's also 2 million more expensive, and if you want Haaland and Salah, you then can't own Palmer and Saka. So with it being so close, I think using those funds from Salah to afford both Palmer and Saka in your team is perhaps the way to go now in the game. So this is a really interesting point to note. Game week 6 wildcard for the experts was pretty much a disaster. No returns from the defence, although only 2 teams kept a clean sheet. We did stumble on some returns in the midfield with a goal from Mbeumo, a goal for Morgan Rogers, and a bonus point for Saka. Will absolutely take it. First captain blank of the season for Erling Haaland. No returns in the forward line, and having a strong 15 has caused points on the bench yet again. This time Semenyo with a goal and 7 points, and Pedro Porro with a clean sheet. So we finished on 33 points. Another red arrow, still inside the top 4 million, but it is early days, and this wildcard team is looking strong going forward. And we've got 2 free transfers as well, so there's still not a time where we need to panic. Taking a look at the standings in the Community League then, let me know in the comments if you are beating the Experts team and if you would make this top 10, because we see once again Mahmoud remains on top spot. He's now 1.3k in the world. Check out his YouTube channel, by the way. We've then got in second place FPL Tips, the YouTube channel, with 68 points. A very impressive week. FPL Aiden also moving up. FPL Mez, she played a wild card this week with 44 points. Sees her drop down to 4th. But it wasn't all bad for the wild carders. FPL Zlatan also played his wild card, up to 76 points and 6th in the league, back in the top 10 after a while. And we also see Gian Batra back in the top 10 as well. 350k overall rank is what you need to get into this top 10, with the Experts team currently in 62nd place with only 33 points this week. And you look at Mahmoud, he's over 100 points ahead of the Experts now, which is incredible after just 6 game weeks of action. I'm going to get straight into the team selection then, because 84% of the experts voted to roll the 2 free transfers going into game week 7. Now, decisions to make all over the pitch on who to start and who to bench. Of course, Raya gets the nod between the sticks, with Southampton at home being a lock-in for a clean sheet, the best clean sheet potential of any team, Arsenal, this week. We are doubled up with Gabriel as well in the defence and Trent, but there is a decision to make on who else to play. We've got Lewis at home to Fulham, Porro away at Brighton. Lewis, the easier fixture on paper, but does he start? Well, the experts are giving him the nod. Porro is second sub for the trip to Brighton. We've also got Greaves with a trip to West Ham on the bench if required. Moving into the midfield, and it is going to be a 5-man midfield in a 3-5-2 formation this week, with Luis Diaz away at Crystal Palace. Then we've got Mbeumo at home to Wolves, Saka at home to Southampton. Great fixtures there. Semenyo away at Leicester and Rodgers at home to Manchester United. It's hard to argue with that, but it does mean that we have to bench Chris Wood in the forward line away at Chelsea. Probably a trickier fixture, but he is on penalties and he has got a great scoring record this season. So I'm slightly apprehensive about more bench points this week. And we've got Calvert-Lewin at home to Newcastle and Haaland at home to Fulham, completing the squad. Now, a bit of a decision again to make on captaincy this week. I think Saka and Haaland are the standouts. The experts agreed, but only 10% were prepared to give Saka the armband home to Southampton, perhaps the fixture of the week, with 90% instead choosing to give Haaland the armband at home to Fulham. It's hard to argue with that one. So this is how the community team lines up, managed by the experts, for game week 7. Help me get this video up to 500 likes then, and subscribe to the channel, and check out the links in the description to this video, because I'll be live at 12:30 tomorrow for the press conference stream, and I will be live for the game week 7 deadline on Saturday morning as well. Hopefully we get some team leaks on whether Luis Diaz starts for Liverpool. Thank you for watching.